Hello all and welcome, and I am the MGTOW philosopher. And in this video I would like to discuss a young woman by the name of Reality Winner. That's right! Someone with two nouns as their name. Not a name and a noun, or a name and a name, but two nouns, which is very unusual. And by the way, her mother's last name is also Winner. No doubt her mother changed her name at some point because nobody has the name Winner unless they've changed their name. I think it's pretty pathetic. It seems like a very hippie-like move. Mother seems like a hippie. Moron, basically. So anyway, this young woman named Reality Winner decided to take a job where she would be subcontracting for the NSA, and she just happened to come across or search out, which is more likely, classified material. And she just happened to look for classified material that had to do with Russian interference in the U.S. general election. And she happened to find some of this material where the NSA was saying they believed Russia had hacked it, even though you can fake IP addresses and this kind of stuff is by no means actual evidence. And then she photocopied this material, scanned this material with her own password, with her own identification number and everything, and then she mailed it. She mailed it to somebody at the Interceptor, a media outlet. Now, first of all, one has to ask the question, who is this young lady? Well, going by the media, she is a former Air Force service person. It says that the 25-year-old Air Force veteran served in the military from 2013, and another news outlet says 2010. It's very hard to be sure which one is correct, so as usual, the fake news at some point gets it wrong. So I don't know which one is accurate. But anyway, she's a former Air Force, a member of the Air Force, so she's an Air Force veteran. She served our country. I can't say well or not. I don't know anything about her. I'm guessing not so well since she is a social justice warrior. And then she went on to get a job with a subcontracting group called Pluribus International Corporation, a defense and intelligence contractor for the U.S. government. And I'm getting this straight from the Atlantic, probably fake news, but we can at least maybe trust some of the facts, although clearly not some of the dates, as those have already been gotten wrong in terms of when she served in the Air Force. But anyway, to continue. So, Winner, who was a veteran and now at 25 works for the NSA. So her age is quite young. So she's not that long out of university. And I'm looking at pictures of her, and right now she looks like a man. I'm looking at these pictures, and this first picture, second picture I have in the roundup here, she looks like a man. She looks butch dyke, probably a lesbian. I wouldn't be surprised if she was. Even if she's not, she's definitely a feminist because she looks horrible. And of course, as most young girls who go into university, beautiful, and end up coming out horrid, disgusting, ugly pigs or butch dykes. Looks like that is the case here. So she went into university, probably, well, still misled by her hippie mother who named her Winner, and was just indoctrinated even further. And surprise, surprise, the government gave this social justice warrior a job, even though she's all over Twitter and the social media downing Trump. He's horrible. He's a racist. He's scum. And yet she got a job with the government somehow. Amazing. Anyway, let's continue with this story, shall we? So, she's a 25-year-old Air Force veteran charged with mailing. So she thought she was being smart, doing it snail mail, but it turns out she used the copier to scan some images, and it had her personal identification on those scans. So she's really not too bright. Anyway, she's charged with mailing classified information to a news organization believed to be The Intercept. Is a contractor with Pluribus International Corporation, a defense and intelligence contractor for the U.S. government. Winner was arrested Saturday at her home in Augusta, Georgia. Georgia? So she's Southern white trash. Okay. And if you do some research, you'll see her parents, where they live and what they look like, and you'll realize, yep, they're white trash moron hippie fucks, just like her. The apple does not fall far from the tree. She is not some really, really choice genetic material. She's a moron. Where the FBI said in its affidavit, she admitted intentionally identifying and printing the classified intelligence reporting from her office space. Wow, she's a genius. Retaining it and mailing it from Augusta, Georgia to the news outlet, which she knew was not authorized to receive or possess the documents. Yeah, of course not. They're top secret documents! News of Winter's arrest came an hour after The Intercept published the story, along with a National Security Agency document dated May 5th that alleged Russian government hackers targeted 122 local election officials a few days before last November's election. Now, the only evidence they have for this are IP addresses that can be faked. As President Putin himself said in his interview with Megyn Kelly, the faux conservative who is really a liberal shill who quit Fox because she was getting too much heat from real conservatives and got the floor mopped with her, was quite clear about how easy it is to fake IP addresses. This isn't actual evidence, okay? They're just saying, oh, we have some indication. Yes, it's not evidence. The Intercept report said that there was no evidence to suggest the hackers succeeded in compromising voting machines or vote tabulations. There's no evidence that it was the Russians who did it either. The Intercept said it received the documents anonymously. No, they received it from Reality Winner. Well, she's not a reality winner today, folks. My colleague, Matt Ford, wrote last night about how the FBI linked Winner to the leaked documents. Yeah, she used her own access code password to scan documents. She's an idiot. Winner was born in Texas in 1991 and was raised in Kingsville near Corpus Christi, The Guardian reported. Her mother, Billy Winner / Davis, Davis would be the name of her newest husband, told The Guardian her daughter graduated from H.M. King in Kingsville, Texas, excelled in academics, tennis, and athletics. Yeah, take a look at some of this girl's pictures. She looks like a mule. She's gigantic. She doesn't look like a woman. She joined the military shortly after, Winter Davis said. Winter served in the U.S. Air Force from January 2013. The other story I'm going to look at said 2010, so I don't know. Until February of this year when she began working with Pluribus, where she had top secret clearance, the FBI affidavit said. Bad idea to give it to her, clearly. Task and Purpose, citing an Air Force source, reported Winter served as an airman first class with the 94th Intelligence Squadron at Fort Meade. I would not connect the word intelligence with this woman. She got caught because she used her own personal identification to scan and copy documents. Not too bright. And she did this in her office with the 94th Intelligence Squadron at Fort Meade, Maryland, until earlier this year. Winter told Winter Davis, that would be the mother, told The Guardian her daughter, who is fluent in Farsi, Dari, and Pashto. Oh, big surprise. Gee, I wonder why she didn't learn French or German or something. She had to learn Middle Eastern languages. They're the oppressed. We need to help them. I never thought this would be something she would do, Winter Davis said. I mean, she has expressed to me that she is not a fan of President Trump. Yeah, she's posted a whole bunch of tweets that are very, very explicit in how they attack Trump. Personally, I don't think this is wise for a government employee, especially one that works for the NSA handling top secret documents. I don't think it's wise for this person to be posting these kind of political opinions on Twitter. This is just my opinion. But she's not someone who would go and riot and picket. No, she's just someone who would steal top secret documents and leak them to the public, which is against the law. Yeah. She's not someone with it. So this is hilarious. So the mother is clearly a moron, too. She thinks going out and rioting or picketing, well, she conflates rioting and picketing, and I guess protesting. None of those are the same thing. So rioting, whoop-de-doo-dah, that's what the left does anyway. They call it protesting. They're rioters. She conflates that with the dissemination of classified material. Yeah, she's an idiot. When her social media activity suggests... more than suggests. She was opposed to Trump's election on Twitter, where she was active under the name Sarah Winners. Yeah, I guess she didn't like the name Reality. We can't blame her for that. She frequently criticized the Trump administration's policies, praised Edward Snowden. All right, first of all, I got to point something out here. There's a lot of people out there trying to conflate this woman with Edward Snowden and make her a hero. The New York Times says that she's a media sensation. This is absurdity. This woman is no sensation, okay? Edward Snowden is an isolated case and a special case, and he's far different than her, all right? There is no comparison. For one thing, Edward Snowden leaked illegally obtained documents, meaning the government he was working for was breaking the law and surveilling hundreds of millions of Americans. And it was doing much worse than that and capturing metadata. They were breaking the law. They were doing something illegal. He was actually protected under the Whistleblower Act. He was actually revealing illegality by his government. This woman did nothing of the sort. She didn't reveal any illegal actions by her government. She just revealed some documents she thought would hurt President Trump, who she had a personal animus with because he did not subscribe to her particular view of politics. This was nothing more than a personal attack on her part, which is typical of a social justice warrior. And no doubt she took this job in hopes of dealing social justice. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a firm grasp of reality in that you cannot steal top secret documents and release them to try and hurt someone you don't like. Especially when it's the president. You dumb bitch, you. Now you will go to jail. And don't conflate yourself with Edward Snowden. He was a hero. And by the way, he's now hiding out in Russia. Because the government here wants his ass because he revealed the nasty shit they were up to. You didn't reveal any nasty shit. Any government officials were up to in this country. You just had a grudge against Trump. You didn't like him. You're not allowed to do that. That's not protected under any whistleblower laws that I know of. Oh, I dislike the president, so I'm going to search out and I'm going to find documents that make him look bad, and then I'm going to send them to my buddy at The Intercept, and nobody will know it was me, even though I use my own personal code to scan and copy documents. You're an idiot. Ay, ay, ay. How stupid can you be? Oy vey. Winter Davis, her mother, said Winter called home. Oh, sorry, I skipped a little bit here. Okay. She frequently criticized the Trump administration's policy, praised Edward Snowden on election night, and said that, people suck because Trump won, tweeting at the president on his immigration order banning the citizens of 6 Muslim countries, which is not a Muslim ban, by the way, when 85% of Muslims can still come in. Of 6 Muslim or predominantly Muslim countries, she asked, have you ever met an Iranian? Yes! And what does that have to do with anything, you dumb bitch? That's a non-point. That doesn't mean anything. That's a leftist argument. It doesn't make any sense. Winter Davis, her mother, said Winter called home Saturday to let her know she had been arrested and that she couldn't really talk about it. Yeah, but she told the cops she did it. How stupid can you be? I'm still in shock, her mother said. Winter was charged under the Espionage Act, and if convicted, faces up to 10 years in prison. I think it's a light sentence, personally. I think she should get much more. This is some funny stuff, I swear. This butch dyke feminist, social justice warrior millennial, I mean, it's great. These dumb millennials, they get out of school, and they've never suffered any real consequences for their actions because they've always held the quote-unquote correct political view, and they've spent their lives basically condemning any views that are not in line with their own, and so they've never had to suffer any real consequences for their actions. And so this girl thinks, there's not any consequences. She doesn't really understand reality. It's great. Now she's finding out firsthand. Now let's see what CNN has to say about this, the Carbuncle News Network. Okay, CNN. Oy. Armed FBI agents surrounded reality winner. That name is so funny. Why would you name your kid that? It's like you want your child to be ridiculed and bullied if you give them that name. It's great. She was destined to become a social justice warrior with a name like that. As she walked into her Georgia home after a trip to the grocery store. Oh, my God. She said she was very scared. Ooh, she was so scared. So immediately the media is trying to portray her as a victim. Oh, she was so scared. Oh, my God, a woman was scared. We have to feel sorry for her. Her mother, Billy Winner Davis, oh, God, she's probably the one that changed her name to Winner. What a horrible name. Told CNN's Anderson Cooper, a CIA shill working for CNN. Big surprise. They took her by surprise. She was not expecting any of this. Yeah, I'm sure she wasn't. To date, she's been a social justice warrior, probably making the lives of conservatives at her former campus and in the military hell. And so she wasn't expecting any consequences for her actions because the left takes care of their own. Everybody hates Trump, right? Everyone in the world hates him, at least in her mind. So she could do whatever the hell she wanted to make him look bad because the media does it, right? Right? The 25-year-old federal contractor was arrested Saturday and now stands charged with leaking classified information to the media. She faces up to 10 years in prison. I hope she gets every single one of those years. Before her arrest, the Texas-based linguist was also known as a yoga instructor. Yeah, big shock. Yoga instructors do tend to be leftist and hippies. An animal lover. Yeah, she likes animals more than people, apparently. Seems to care about them even more than herself. Her family knew almost nothing about her work life, they said. This is not a surprise. Probably ashamed of her family. I've seen their pictures. I'd be ashamed too. I didn't know what company she worked for. Yeah, there's clearly a disconnect between this girl and her parents, which further points to how she could go so far off the rails and do something like this. Although her mother is probably largely to blame with a name like that. Ay, ay, ay. I didn't know what company she worked for. I don't know what she did when she went to work. Strange, very strange. On Saturday, her daughter called her to say she was in trouble. Probably the first time she'd heard from her in a long time. Winner Davis and her husband said they have spoken to Winner by telephone since her arrest and only saw her briefly at a hearing on Monday. Yeah, wearing the orange jumpsuit. All right. If only we could toss Kathy Griffin in jail, too, for being so horribly unfunny, as it's almost like torture to listen to her. Winner is a federal contractor with top secret security clearance. I asked the question, how would somebody like this get top security clearance? She's all over social media with her very extreme leftist views. I don't get it. She's got bad judgment. Why would they give her top security clearance? Oh, a virtue signaling of the left. She's a girl. She's a woman. Give her the job. If they'd have given it to a man, he might have had more sense. I'm sure he would have, in fact, and said, if I do this, I could go to prison for like a long time. But apparently women don't have this kind of logic. And of course, since they never really have to suffer consequences for their actions, they're never held accountable. So, I doubt she was thinking about any type of consequences. But a man would have, I'm sure. Unless he was raised as a cuck by a single mom, then he might have been emasculated to the point where he's not thinking rationally. She certainly wasn't. She had been assigned to a U.S. government agency facility, Pluribus International Corp. In Augusta, Georgia, since February 13th. She wasn't there very long. She is accused of leaking classified information, used as the basis for an article published Monday by The Intercept, detailing a classified national security agency memo. So, and if you read this memo that was released, it was nothing. I don't know how this girl thought that this was some kind of big revelation. Americans have been getting told for a long time that the NSA and other intelligence agencies suspect Russia having done something wrong. That doesn't mean anything. I think it would have been easily framed. I don't consider IP addresses evidence of much of anything. A master hacker could fool them very easily. We're not talking anything real difficult. But even if Russia was involved, so what? Most people have been told that already. This was no big deal, this memo that she risked her life, risked her freedom to send out, just so she could stab at Trump personally. I mean, talk about a social justice warrior gone insane. She's trying to use social justice tactics against the president, and she's using her job to do it. How crazy must you be to do that? You'd have to be nuts. My God. Yeah. Unbelievable. Winner was a linguist in the U.S. Air Force and speaks, yeah, we know that already. Yeah, she served her country. She is a veteran. Her stepfather, Gary Davis, told CNN's Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper is uber leftist. Good buddies with Kathy Griffin, yeah. She's a patriot. She's not a patriot. She's not a patriot, okay? She is seditious and she's a traitor to America. All you leftist scum are traitors. You hate yourselves. You hate white people. You hate America. Go fuck yourselves. And to see her maligned and slandered in the media is very disheartening. Yeah, she only stole top secret documents and gave them away to the media, which is against the law. And by the way, against her role in her job. That's against the rules. She can't do that. Winter served in the Air Force from December 2010 to 2016. Yes, again, these dates, I don't know which is correct. Her rank was senior airman, and her last duty title was... so because of these dates, I don't know if this girl even went to university. Because 2010, 2016, she would have had to have started in the Air Force at, like, say, the age of 18 or 19 or something. I mean, so I'm not sure. Her rank was senior airman. If she did go to university, that explains everything, of course. They're indoctrination centers. Senior airman, and her last duty title was cryptologic language analyst. Ooh, according to the Air Force. Don't let it fool you, folks. It might sound intellectual, but she's a moron. She provided support to missions and received the Air Force Commendation Medal in 2016, something apparently a monkey can get, which is for members who have distinguished themselves by meritorious achievement and service, meaning vagina. Virtue signal, give a medal to woman, vagina medal. She provided over 1,900 hours of enemy intelligence exploitation and assisted in geolocating 120 enemy combatants. Ooh, good for her. I wonder how she feels about that. The left is supposed to be so caring about the oppressed Muslim life. Yet she helped kill lots and lots and lots of them. She was raised in Kingsville, Texas, and served in the Air Force in Columbia, Maryland. Outside of work, she works as a yoga instructor. Oh, yeah, she's a leftist, all right. She's just a normal person. No, she's not. She's mentally ill. Liberalism is a mental disorder, said Titus Nicholas, her court-appointed attorney. She's just a normal yoga instructor. Right. Oh, my God. Winner's accused of printing the classified intelligence report May 9th and mailing it to the news outlet a few days ago. Yeah, you know, she thought using the mail was a good way to avoid getting caught. Yeah. The Intercept contacted the NSA and the Office of Director of National Intelligence for its article. The news outlet provided the U.S. government agent with a copy of the document. The U.S. government agency with a copy of the document. Blah. According to the complaint. After examining the document, so they gave, this Intercept gave an exact copy of the document to an intelligence agency. It was determined that the pages of the intelligence reporting appeared to be folded or creased, suggesting they had been printed and hand-carried out of a secured space. So I don't know how she got these documents out in her bag. I don't know if they're searched or what. She had them up her butt. Who knows? But she actually, removed them from a secure area physically. And it left telltale signs this had been done. She's not that bright. An internal audit revealed Winter was one of 6 people. Yeah, we've already read all this. Okay, so nothing new here. Nothing more that's of any interest in this article. Except, her lawyer is casting doubt on the government side of the story, even though she basically confessed. So I don't know what doubt there is. Might be. Now, her mother, this is interesting. Her mother goes on to say, My biggest fear in all of this is that she's not going to get a fair trial. She's going to be made an example of. Good! And by the way, since when is being made an example of not a fair trial? You idiot! Do you know how stupid what she did is? And by the way, we all know she's going to get off with a slap on the wrist, right? We got judges in America voting not on the law, but on social justice ideology. So I very much doubt that this girl's going to get any type of nasty sentence. We already know that women get, this is a statistical fact, that for the same crimes, women get half the time as men. I mean, there's no way that this girl is going to get any hard time. She might get probation or something. I mean, maybe a year in jail. Yeah, I'd like it if they made an example of her. I'm very skeptical, very, very skeptical, because the media is going to be painting her as some kind of. They're already painting her as a hero. As some people are comparing her to Edward Snowden. And it's very interesting because when Snowden did what he did, all the media was calling him a scumbag and he's a criminal. And everybody on the left was saying, this guy's got to go down. He's got to go down. We got to get this guy. We got to put him in prison. He's so evil. But this girl, oh no, she has the right political opinions. So she's good. Let's get her off. Let's taint the jury pool and make sure that she gets I would say is definitely not a fair trial, because she needs to serve a lot of hard time, and yes, as an example to others. Now, the last thing I'd like to read is something that is more conservative in bent, the Daily Caller. And here it begins. My job is to read as much news as I can in a day and then make it somewhat more entertaining for my readers. Some days are easy and some days aren't so easy. And then there's today, when the top story is about an American leaker of top-secret documents who was literally named Reality Winner. I'm not sure yet what sort of day this is. So, 25-year-old woman who stole top-secret documents from the National Security Agency and leaked them to the internet appears to be a supporter of Bernie Sanders and other progressive icons. She's a Bernie Sanders supporter, so you know she's a fucking psycho. Reality Leah Winner's apparent social media footprint also shows that she is a supporter of other liberal causes. Liberalism is a mental disorder, folks, okay? She's mentally ill, including the Women's March and the Islamic Society of North America, even though she worked in the military to help kill lots and lots of Muslims. The Muslim Civil Rights Group of Society of North America, Islamic Society of North America. They don't need civil rights, okay? They got more rights than most white people. Winner was indicted in federal court on Monday after she allegedly stole classified documents from her employer, Pluribus International, a defense contractor that does work for the NSA and its offices in Augusta, Georgia. Hooray for that. Now, some say, this is where it gets funny, some say we need to send all the millennials to Gitmo. This is a perfect example of why that's not such a bad idea. We've raised an entire generation of Americans who think that rules and laws do not apply to them. Unfortunately for this young woman, her name is Reality Winner, and it's not Hillary Clinton. So she's actually going to be charged with her very obvious crime. Love it. I just love it. But because this is 2017, she will now be lionized by the left. Hell, if they can make a hero out of Bradley Manning, they can make a hero out of anybody. The same people who howled at a county clerk in Kentucky for following her Christian conscience on gay marriage will defend this young lady for following her conscience on their religion. Yeah, the liberal left is a religion, folks. It's the craziest one on earth. That's why it's a mental disorder. She hates the same people and things they do, so she's one of them. So she has no enemies on the left, and the left control most of the government, and the left control the media, and the left control Hollywood. So guess what will happen to her? Left control the courts, too. My advice to young Miss Winter is to declare that she's now a man. Make everyone else change their pronoun usage at the drop of a hat. Then just wait for another Democrat to get elected president and commute her sentence. Go with what works. She wouldn't even have to change her name like Manning did. As we've all learned, reality knows no gender. Well, the left certainly knows no gender, and the left certainly knows no crime either as they run around hitting people in the head with bike locks. That's why us conservatives have to show up for their own events wearing bicycle helmets so nobody whacks them in the head with a baseball bat or a bike lock. It's crazy. The world is going insane. These millennials are nuts. All these stupid young people are thinking they can infiltrate the government. And I wouldn't be surprised if what she did was planned out. If she had motive. I wouldn't be surprised if she went into this job with the express purpose. Now notice, she started just in February. I wouldn't be surprised if the express purpose was to find and leak classified information about Trump. And who knows how long she's been doing this? We don't know. There have been leaks going back to February and well before that, which of course she obviously couldn't have been responsible for, but a lot more leaks coming out since she got into that job. So who knows? We really don't know how many, because it wasn't until she sent this document and she made a mistake, which all criminals do, and she's a criminal, don't kid yourselves. She got arrogant, she got lazy, she got overconfident, she made a mistake, she left a digital fingerprint on one of her scans of a document, and they uncovered it. Imagine that. The National Security Agency, an intelligence organization whose job is to ferret out information, to investigate things, to essentially find your secrets, found hers. Yeah, a big shocker. You would think that this young woman would be smarter than that, but with a name like Reality Winner and parents like these, it's unlikely that she won the genetic lottery. So she's no winner. And I hope she loses big time and goes to jail. Because I'm tired of these fucking kids, these motherfucking kids who benefit from the very country they malign, hating themselves and hating everybody else that's like them, while espousing how wonderful people who are totally unlike them are, who come from these countries that essentially treat their women like garbage, who these women are essentially slaves, who have to cover their faces and everything else up, even in the house, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, have to be dressed up in hot, black, cheap fabric in most cases. It's got to itch like hell. And these places where a lot of them don't even have running water or indoor electricity because they're like fucking cavemen. Their intelligence is that low. But we're supposed to respect these people. And they're so oppressed. Where did they get oppressed? Where are they? Why are they a minority? Oh, because they're coming to our country to leech off our fucking system and take our shit? And so they're an oppressed minority? Oh, because, of course, any minority is automatically oppressed, right? What's going to happen when white people become a minority, huh? I bet you things won't flip around and then we get the privilege back. No, I don't think so. Hope this cunt goes to jail forever. And her parents should be ashamed. She's a criminal. Put this leftist in jail. Look at her picture. She even looks seditious. She even looks like a criminal scumbag to me. Butch dyke, ugly cunt. I am the MGTOW philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.